They were told Americans would strip them, mock them, parade them like animals. What they expected was cruelty.
March 1945, rural Georgia. 847.
Some were barely 20. Carried years.
Their uniforms hung like borrowed clothes. Months of hunger had erased strength, youth, and certainty.
The air was thick and damp. Nothing like Germany's cold winters. Even the climate felt like an enemy.
Then came the smell. Not decay.
Not rot, but soap, fresh paint.
Real bacon. Not substitutes. Not rations.
Confusion spread faster than fear. She was 23. She looked 40. War does that.
Next to her stood Anna, Berlin survivor, anti-aircraft operator, a woman who had learned to shut down emotions to stay alive.
Then the Americans approached. And nothing happened the way the stories had promised.
Their uniforms were clean, their boots polished. They didn't shout. They didn't raise weapons.
You will be processed. You will be fed. You will be treated under the Geneva Convention.
Geneva Convention. The words meant nothing. Fear had already taught them what to expect.
Inside, nurses, not guards, waited. Clipboards, medical stations, clean clothing.
Real nurses. No guns, no shouting, just routine. Name, age, unit, medical history. Bureaucracy replaced brutality.
Fear returned at the medical exams. Curtains closed. Voices low.
The doctor was a woman, and she smiled, not cruelly, but with exhaustion and care.
Then came the word that froze them all. Bathing. Delousing. This was where death was supposed to begin.
The word lingered in their minds. Delousing. In Europe, it meant gas.
Greta's hands shook around the towel. Anna walked ahead, rigid, disciplined, refusing to show fear, even as it tightened her chest. Steam drifted into the corridor. Steam meant water. Water meant showers. Showers had meant death elsewhere.
On every bench sat a basket. Inside, soap, towels, clean clothes. Real soap.
Instead of darkness, they entered white tile, wooden benches, and light. Too much light for an execution.
It was solid, heavy, real. Something she had not touched in months.
Think.
20 seconds passed, then 30. No one moved. They searched for the
Anna broke the spell. She grabbed the soap and stepped forward. The water started. And nothing terrible happened.
Greta followed, her legs weak, her mind screaming. This was supposed to be the end.
She turned the handle. Hot water poured down her back. Not lukewarm, not rationed, truly hot.
Steam rose around her like a miracle. Months of filth, lice, and fear began to wash away.
The soap foamed gently. It didn't burn. It didn't scrape skin raw. It cleaned without punishment.
Around her, others laughed in disbelief. Some cry openly. The enemy had given them something their own country no longer could.
How could you be so merciful? I don't deserve this! I deserve to suffer, not to be forgiven!
Clean clothes waited. New underwear. Whole socks. Nothing scavenged. Nothing borrowed from the dead.
When the water stopped, Greta felt lighter, cleaner, almost human again. Her skin was pink, alive. The mirror showed a stranger she barely recognized.
They left the bathhouse expecting shame. Instead, they carried dignity. And the day was only beginning.
They stepped outside clean, but unsure. Mercy had touched them once. They didn't know if it would strike again.
Their hands trembled, not from cold, but from disbelief.
They hesitated, unsure if sitting was allowed. Hunger battled years of discipline.
Food that once symbolized survival now carried shame.
No one spoke. Eating felt forbidden, like breaking an invisible rule.
The guards did not rush them. They simply watched and waited.
One woman finally lifted her food. The moment felt heavier than combat.
For some, the taste unlocked memories they had buried to survive.
Then, one by one, they followed. Hunger won.
That night, food became something else entirely. Proof they were still alive.
As evening fell, they were guided back to the barracks, still unsure if this calm was temporary.
They selected beds without instruction, habits from another life guiding them.
Each woman guarded the few possessions she had left, as if they still mattered.
Sleep did not come easily. Silence felt louder than gunfire.
Outside, the guards remained, present, but no longer threatening.
Why were they still alive?
For many, darkness brought memories they could no longer outrun.
Even at night, no one came to harm them. The fear lingered anyway.
That night, captivity felt unfamiliar. Not cruel, not kind, just uncertain.
Morning arrived without warning. No sirens, no shouting, just silence and cold air.
They waited for orders that never came.
The Americans watched, not to intimidate, but to understand.
Without command, they began organizing themselves.
Clean water flowed freely. Another unfamiliar luxury.
Breakfast followed, again without threat or humiliation.
Routine replaced chaos. Routine felt dangerous, but comforting.
Warmth reached places fear had frozen.
They were told to report illnesses, no punishment attached.
For many, it was the first medical care they had received in years.
Kindness felt heavier than cruelty.
Wounds once ignored were now treated carefully.
They could move, within limits, but without fear.
Freedom was visible, yet unreachable.
Stories surfaced. Some whispered, some never finished.
The guards heard fragments they would never fully understand.
The day closed gently, without incident.
Survival demanded strength long after danger passed.
Rest felt earned, but still unfamiliar.
Another day passed, and still no cruelty came.
Morning returned again, and with it, the strange realization that they were still alive.
The flag rose slowly, a symbol they once feared, now simply a fact of life.
They watched, without anger, without loyalty, only exhaustion.
Work returned, but this time without punishment tied to failure.
Simple tasks became anchors in a world that had come apart.
They were still confined, but no longer crushed. Information replaced commands. Choice replaced force. Yeah.
Time stretched differently here. Slow, uncertain, but survivable.
They no longer feared being seen as weak.
Healing, once forbidden, was now encouraged.
The fence still stood, but it no longer defined them.
Even the guards seemed changed by the calm.
Okay.
Memories remained painful, but no longer deadly.
For a moment, some allowed themselves to rest.
Night no longer brought terror, only memories. Another day closed without violence, a victory in itself. Sleep came slowly, but it came.
Protection replaced menace. For the first time since capture, tomorrow no longer felt like a death sentence.